It's me, your little boy, K. Samson. This is something that many of us need to know exactly, because there are governed territory, spiritual governed territory. You know what I'm saying? There are spirits which govern each territory. And this is why sometimes many of us, when we travel out of our home, things start to work out, because there are spiritual territory who govern our families, our communities, our local communities, our international. There are territories that govern it all. There are spiritual territory that guide it all. So you have to be careful where you travel to. I was opportune to watch a man. So this man was talking about here in Italy, in Napoli, the demon that governed that place. And when I watch it, I was just like, what is going on? But there's something that I figure out, particularly where I used to live and even where I am living today. There is totally different thing, but there are some certain things that are the same. What am I trying to say is this: you have to be careful, because there are spirits in our homes. There are some spirit in our home that govern his spirit, that govern his own. Look at the life of this man called Jabez. The Bible said Jabez was born in sorrow. That means the family, they have already been living with the spiritual sorrow. The spirit that governs them is a spirit of sorrow, spirit of unprogressive, spirit of unproductive, spirit of setback, spirit of limitation. But when Jabez look at it, he said, this is the same thing my parents have been going through. Even maybe his own was siblings, etc. But what happened? He said, Lord, I want you to do what? To take me away. I want to, because the truth is that you can't kill them. You can't kill them. This is the wrong prayer that majority of us believers are praying. Every spirit that is setting me back, every spirit that is making me unproductive, that I work hard, but nothing to show for it, you just be kidding. But the Bible says, cast them away. Resist them, for they will flee the way. So you have to be careful where you go. Because let me tell you, we are living in a world today where there are some places you will go, you will notice that in that particular state, all that they do is man to man. Man to man. You know what I'm saying? All that they do is man to man. And you will even find it difficult to see people who practice woman to woman, which is happening in this world today. There are some bosses today that the spiritual demon that guide them is spirit of man to man. That whoever that is under them, that is working under them, that is under them, that they are living with, if you don't do that thing, you will not be hired. You will not be you will not even work too long with them. You know what I'm saying? So many of us need to be careful. We need to be watchful. Sometimes some people said, this is like one of my friends who told me a word. Why am I saying this? A friend of mine tell me a word that was in year 2022, a bit 2021, when this guy said the word. He said, do you know that in this particular zone, that all men in this place do this thing? And I was shocked, because I was new. I never know what's happening. Even where I used to stay, yes, there are people who practice that because it is just like their tradition. You know what I'm saying? So when I come here, this guy said this word. I was just like someone who is just like naive about it. I'm not saying that I'm ignorant, but I never believed that it will be to a point where many will be doing that. But when I come to figure this out, I realize that this is something that spiritually, it is spiritual govern. It is the spirit that govern the territory, the state. Because this is why many of us need to be careful. If your own president in your country is corrupt, you got to understand that the rest of people, from the president to the top, all of them will bear that spirit of corruption, unless those who are partaker of Christ. That is why if you reach a country where the president is not what corrupt, is not evil, is not what addicted to this stuff of man to man, you will find it difficult to see people who do it publicly. For instance, if you go to Africa today, you're going to realize that people are not bold to expose themselves. Rather, they do it secretly. Why? Because 99% of Africa presidents are not what yielded to that man to man. But if you come to Western world, you study it well, you come to understand that the wealthy people in Western world, the thing that make them wealthy is this spirit of what man to man, even the men. So what am I trying to say is this: be careful when people are telling you, because most of them, they are going to use that system, that spiritual govern, to do what? To hijack your star. This is where the problem is. They may tell you to come and join them. They may tell you if you don't do this. So, one of my friends told me what he said. Do you know that people who do this man to a man, they are so wealthy, they are so rich? I look at him, I say, you that is telling me this, are you wealthy? Are you successful? How much do you earn in a month? He was shocked. Why? Because many of them, they will convince the ignorant people to join them. Meanwhile, they are now hijacking their gift. That is why sometimes if you enter some organization or some company, you come to realize that only the master is always successful. The rest of them is just mouth to mouth, mouth to mouth, mouth to mouth, rent to mouth, mouth to rent, rent to mouth, mouth to rent. So you have to be careful, because many of them, the moment they see your star, the next thing that they will ask you to do is just to involve with what they are doing, in order for them to use that strategies to cage your star. And the moment they are able to get that your star, what will happen? You may work like 1 year, 2 years, before you know, they will chase you out. Why? Because they have collected that uniqueness in you, and they are waiting for the next privilege, the next person that will be a victim. So you have to be careful, because even many of us have this how will I say, this system, that you will come to a family that you will find it difficult to see people who are above some certain levels, because that is the spirit that governs that family. That whoever that try to arise, if you are not powerful, what happened? They will strike you down. If you are not strong enough, what happened? They will break you down. The spirit of what? The spirit that governs it. So you have to be careful. You have to be mindful. Not all environment is you need to do what? Stay as a believer, as a Christian. There are some people you need to do what? To distance yourself from. There are some people whom the demon that govern the society, the state, the community, is just what? Is just in their hands. They are the ones that do what? That control that demons. They are the ones that revise. They are the ones that invoke. They are the ones that command that demons. So you have to be careful. You have to be mindful. This is the reason why even in some community, when they figure you out, you will always be the one that they hate the most. No matter how you do it, your kindness will become like your weakness. No matter how you do it. So that is why sometimes even in your own family, you will always be the one that people hate the most. Why? Because they are not able to use their spiritual evil to govern your gift. Because the Bible make it clear, say the gift of a man maketh a way for them. So there are some spirit that govern a lot of people. So whenever you are praying, don't pray for them to die, because they are not going to die. They don't die. What happens is that you say, Lord, separate me from them, disconnect me from them, make me a flame of fire, make my star a flame of fire, make my gift a flame of fire. And be careful what you do, where you associate, or the stuff you do with some people around you. Because many of them, the demons in that place is already controlling a lot of people. Some of them don't even know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. So be careful. Remain blessed.